How's it going, guys? Joe here from Big Shark Gaming. Today we're going to be talking about the new Nintendo Switch OLED model, which wasn't called the Pro LED. Makes me sad. A little bit sad, not gonna lie. So this kind of caught everybody by surprise. It was just a random launch, and we're looking at the website NintendoLife.com just because they have a very nice spread of all three of the devices. This way we can get a sense of what's different and what is not different. So I already have some opinions of this device. I did watch the trailer. I'm sure many of you have by now as well. This system, MSRP at $350 USD, or the equivalent, whatever your currency is. It will be the currency equivalent of $350 USD. I won't go too much into specs right now, but if you are a player who uses your Switch docked, this is not going to matter much to you at all. In fact, you don't even have to listen to much of the video, to be honest. I don't want to drive anybody away, so please listen to the rest of the video. But if you are somebody who seldom uses your Switch, if never uses your Switch undocked, like myself, then the new Switch OLED is not going to really garner much of your attention. If you're somebody who uses your Switch undocked a lot or uses the Switch Lite, then maybe you'll have a lot more interest in this device. Me personally, I don't have much interest in it. Shut up, Java. All right. So here are some of the specs in terms of sizes, and I won't go over all of them because they're not very necessary. Here's one of the ones that were actually pointed out, was the screen size resolution. With Switch Lite, you get 5.5 touch screen, and it's 720. With the new OLED, it is still 720. That does not change, and it is an OLED screen, so the colors are going to be a lot more vibrant. They're going to be a lot more poppy, and a 7-inch screen, which is more screen, less bezel than the 6.2-inch screen. As you can see, the actual diameters are exactly the same as the regular Switch. It's just that there's less bezel, more screen room, and an OLED display, which I'm kind of actually worried about. The PS Vita had an OLED display as well, and it was soft. And if you dropped it one time, it just died. So hopefully, and I definitely recommend getting a screen protector, because this is going to be, soft screen, still 720. Didn't go up to 1080 undocked. So that's a little bit sad. But I mean, 720 is still HD. It's whatever. And you can see here a little bit heavier. That's going to be because of some of the components in there. The screen itself is going to be heavier, even though it's going to be softer. It's negligible in terms of that. So these whole stats here are completely negligible. The CPU and GPU is huge to point out. A lot of speculation that the Switch OLED Switch Pro or Super Switch, whatever they were going to call it, was going to have a better processor. Has the same processor. It's not any more powerful than the regular Switch or the Switch Lite. Exactly the same. Storage bumps up to 64 gigs as opposed to the standard 32. Can use micro SDs up to 2 terabytes. Again, negligible, I think. This has been a problem that people have really solved, and 64 gigs is sure double to 32 gigs, but still very, very small in terms of size. And like I said, people by now have already gotten SD cards. I myself have a pretty massive SD card in there. It's not quite 2 terabytes, but it's up there. I don't even remember what the size was, to be honest. It might be 256 or 512. But yeah, this is negligible. Wi-Fi stats completely negligible, except for the fact that now you have the LAN. It has a built-in Ethernet port for LAN connection. Finally, but unfortunately, this problem has been solved already with the form of a Lan Adapter. Sure, you have to buy it separately. Sure, it takes up a USB slot. But who's using the USB slots on their Switch anyway? And for what? Comment down below what you use it for if you do. LAN Adapter. So you can plug in from the back, which is nice. No more needed stuff. Is it worth the $50 uptick? I don't think so, because adapters are like $20 and pretty widely accessible. But I mean, still a cool fact. You can't really glance over it. Other than that, all the Wi-Fi components are going to be exactly the same. Still going to be the same Bluetooth. You know, yeah, this is another problem that's been a problem for long enough that it has a solution for it. Video output exactly the same as the regular Switch. Exactly the same. No difference. No difference whatsoever. So don't expect any sort of difference. Audio output. It's going to be better audio slightly. Very, very slightly than the regular one. It's still going to be stereo. Still going to use the USB Type-C. Still going to be using the same headphone jacks. So again, none of these are really going to be important. The micro SD slot, not important. Sensors don't change. Operating system, again, doesn't change. Lithium battery, this is going to have the same battery. A lot of people were saying that the battery life is going to be approximately better. And yes, that's going to be because the screen is going to take a little bit less to run it because it's an OLED display. It's going to be more adaptive. You can see here in the battery life, it was 2.5 to 6 for the regular Switch, or 4.95 depending on the game that you play, and it's at approximately 5.5 for Breath of the Wild. But then look at this. It's exactly the same. The later models of the standard Switch have exactly the same battery life. The older models were, sure, 2.5 to 6.5. But the later models of the Switch standard have the same battery life. So if you're buying a Switch recently, you're going to have no change whatsoever. Charging time is exactly the same. And here we are with this. These are going to be the dock comparisons. Exactly the same, maybe a little bit different in terms of length and depth. The one for the Switch OLED is going to be a little bit lighter, negligible, 0.03 of a pound. Nothing. Does come with the wired LAN port. That's fine. No USB 3.0, which sucks. Can't fast charge. No additional Type-C. Again, you're not going to be fast charging your controllers. Still the two in the front. You're going to have the one in the back with the LAN as well. Nothing really negligible. I'm nothing really to write home about. So, my thoughts on this. And I've pretty much brushed up over them in general. And we were talking about it a little bit in the Discord. The things that I do care about are going to be the LAN cable. I guess that is helpful for people. I wouldn't run out and buy a new Switch because of that. Things I don't care about, the OLED display, because I don't use it undocked, and OLED's going to be a soft display, very breakable. The enhanced audio, again, it's very, very negligible. You're not really going to notice it side by side. 64 gigs, don't care about it. I have micro SD, and most people probably do already as well. Better battery life is already something that I wrote down in my notes, and clearly with the later models of the Switch, it's nothing. It's the same as the newer models of the Switch. The kickstand's pretty cool. The kickstand now, it doesn't have like the little like narrow 3/4 of an inch kickstand that is like off kiltered and wobbles and not safe. This one takes up the entire back, and it gives you like almost like a traditional tablet type of kickstand. So you could have it in many different sets. The one thing that in here it doesn't show you, which is kind of frustrating, is one thing I would want to know is what's the response time of the screen? What's the refresh rate of the screen? Are we doing 90 hertz? Are we doing 60? While we're here, Nintendo Switch refresh rate. Let's see if we can find it. We'll go to the first one. Let's see. It's probably 60. Yeah, it's 60. What is the OLED gonna be? Let's see if that's been listed. Oh, I put old. Alright, OLED. We're gonna learn this together. And that doesn't show you anything like that. So we have to hope that it's better than this, because 60 is fine and all for mid-budget cell phones. But I wouldn't want to watch a TV or play video games handheld at 60 hertz. I wouldn't want to watch something with a response time of 5 or 6 milliseconds. I would want 1 or 2. There's no talk of the RAM. What's the Nintendo Switch's natural RAM? Let's find out. RAM, if I could type. How much RAM is in the Nintendo Switch? It's 4 gigs. So, how much is the OLED? Was that announced? I don't think it was. Old again. OLED. Doesn't say. So, there's no CPU or RAM upgrade. So, it's still going to be 4 gigs. So, it's going to be the exact same system with a slightly better screen. I don't know. You know, for me, as someone who plays the Switch docked exclusively, why did this go dark? Oh. So yeah, I'm using an ad blocker. Okay. But yeah, so as me, someone who uses the Switch entirely docked, never undocked, and the reason why I don't use it undocked is because the fucking Joy-Cons suck. If the Joy-Cons were better, which it doesn't say anything about that in this update about the Joy-Cons, and Nintendo kind of put themselves in a pit because they can't say, oh, Joy-Con issues have been fixed, because they're still denying that Joy-Con issues were ever a problem. So, like, they can't say, oh, we fixed Joy-Con drift, because then they're admitting that there's Joy-Con drift. Is there still going to be Joy-Con drift in these controllers, the new Joy-Cons? I would have to imagine so. The reason why I don't play undocked is because I'm not going to sit there and prop it up with my Joy-Cons still in there and use a Pro Controller. If I'm going to use a Pro Controller, I'm putting it on a TV. Crying out loud. I have 2 TVs in my bedroom. I'm in my living room, and most people don't have that situation, and sure, they want to play like that, but Joy-Con drift is a big problem, and they don't address it because they can't. They put themselves in a hole. I'm not mad that we have a new system. I think it's pretty cool, and for collectors, it's going to be great. I love the black and white color scheme. I wonder if they did that to make it look nicer alongside the PS5. Jokes. It's a joke. But, you know, like, it's a completely negligible system, completely unnecessary. I think that this is definitely a cash cow. They're trying to phase out the old Switches, I guarantee it, and they're trying to phase these ones in. I just don't know. I think that it's not a worthwhile endeavor unless you are a collector or you don't already have a Switch. If you already have a Switch and you play it mostly docked because you can't play it undocked because the Switch controllers, the Joy-Cons, just suck. The Switch was meant to be portable. I don't know about you, but I'm not a huge fan of bringing my Switch places and also having to carry around a controller that I have to make sure that I remember to charge. Yeah, let me know in the comment section below. I'm interested to know what you guys think. I don't hate the console by any means. I think it's pretty neat. But I think that it's way better. It's not for me at all. I'm not going to get it. One, I'm not a system collector, and 2, again, I play my console docked. I don't need a reason to upgrade it. It's not broken, so don't fix it. If you don't have a Switch and you don't have you don't have the Switch and you play it mostly undocked, sure, maybe it's a worthwhile venture for you. Or if you're a collector, by all means. It's still a nifty, it's very sharp. It actually matches the same exact color scheme as my phone. But, you know, let me know what you guys think. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like button. If you loved it, then consider subscribing. We're trying to get to 900 subscribers, so, you know, help us out. If you disliked it, dislike it, hit dislike the video, and leave a comment letting us know why you disliked the video and what I can do better next time. As always, I'll see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.